Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Vijender Singh Tawar, Associate Professor in English. At present, I have been posted at Government College, Gudha. In the series of video lectures, which is prepared by me for you, today's video lecture is meant for the students of Class BA Part 2nd, Subject English Literature, Paper 1st, and the topic which we are going to discuss in this video is the explanation of A.K. Ramanujan's famous poem, Obituary. As it is our custom, or we have made it a plan, that first of all we talk about the poet, then we about the poem. So first of all, about the poet. A.K. Ramanujan, and if we take the full name, Miss Attipati Krishna Swami Ramanujan was born in 1929 and died in 1993. He is one of the Indo-Anglian poets. Indo-Anglian means an Indian who writes in English. And A.K. Ramanujan finds a place among the top 3 poets of Indo-Anglian category, we can say. He is one of the members of the poetic trinity of Indo-Anglian poets, the other 2 being Nisim Ezgil and Kamala Das. Thus, he occupies a place among the 3 top Indo-Anglian poets. He was a scholar of Indian literature who wrote in both English and Kannada. That is, he not only wrote in his mother tongue Kannada, but also wrote in English. He was a versatile genius. He wore many hats as an Indian poet, scholar, author, those of a philologist. If we look at the bottom, we find the meaning of philologist means a person who studies the structure, historical development, and relationship of a language or languages. Folklorist, that is, he used to study the folk songs of the Karnataka. Translator, poet, playwright, he was a versatile genius, all-rounder. His academic research ranged across 5 languages. He had the knowledge of 5 languages, and they include Tamil, Kannada, Telugu, Sanskrit, and English. He published works on both classical and modern variants of these literatures, means all the 5 literatures, and he also argued strongly for giving local, non-standard dialects their due. Means ordinary people do not speak standard dialect. They speak the natural language, so that should be given due respect. He has been praised highly by critics after critics. His art is almost perfect. The only fault that can be found with him is that his poetic output is too thin. Means he published few poems only. He has, to his credit, only 2 slender volumes of poetry. He is certainly one of the greatest masters of English language. He has written poems on various topics, on his family members, for example, on his wife, mother, father, sister, and friends, etc. Apart from his themes and motifs in his poetry, he ranks very high among Indo-Anglian poets for his use of the English language to express himself. Means he, though English was a foreign language for him, but he used it as his own mother tongue. He has shown a rare originality in the use of words, and he has shown an extraordinary talent of phrase making. His new words, coinage, etc. His poems abound in felicities of words and phrases. Now about the poem. The poem entitled Obituary is one of the most famous poems written by A.K. Ramanujan. It is taught and published in many of anthologies which are prescribed in various universities in India. It was published in his volume of poems entitled Relations Poems in 1971. In this poem, the poet remembers his dead father long after his death and the legacy he left for his sons and daughters. The tone is flippant. Now see, the flippant means not showing due respect or serious respectful attitude towards a person. Mock ironic, but it is merely a cover to hide his essential seriousness and the poignancy of his grief. Poignancy is the quality of evoking keen sense of sadness or regret, or we can say pathos. In a word, the poet was very sad at the death of his father. This is revealed if we make our attitude broad and make analysis of the poem. Now see the poem. The text of the poem, as this video is meant for the explanation. So we should know the meaning of each and every line. First of all, the title of the book, Obituary. Obituary, as I have given you the meaning, means a notice of death generally published in newspapers by the near relatives of the deceased person to inform others of the death. That is the meaning of obituary. And in that sense, this word has been used in this. And as he is a family poet, he writes about his family members. This poem is about his father. The poet says, father, when he passed on, died, when his father died, left dust on a table of papers. Means when a person dies, he generally leaves some legacy for his descendants, for his sons and daughters. So he also left something, and that was one thing is he left a table which was filled with papers. He also left certain dates which he has borrowed from various persons and also daughter. That is expenditure. He did not leave anything positive. And a bed waiting grandson. He also left a grandson who used to urinate in the bed, named by the toss of a coin after him. And the grandson was given the name of him. And the name was decided by the toss of a coin. It means there was no unanimity about the naming the grandson, but it was luckily selected or decided by the throwing of a toss. He also left a house that leaned slowly through our growing. However, as the poet and his other members, they grew up, the house also started leaning in one direction, like on a bent coconut tree in the yard, just like coconut tree. Means these were the things which father left for the daughters and sons, and one of them was poet. And he has described everything in a flippant manner, not showing any respect, but indirectly, if we look at it, we find that he is deeply hurt by the loss of his father. Being the burning type, as his father was a very angry young man, he was always burning with anger. He burned properly at the cremation. Last rite, when his dead body was put on the pile and was given fire, his dead body burnt properly in a smooth manner. And it is a tradition among Hindus that after burning the dead body, after some time, the sons or other relatives of the dead person, they come and choose or pick the bones and other things if they find in the ashes of the dead person. So as before, easily at both ends left his eye coins in the ashes that it didn't look one bit different. Means they found two coins, which is a tradition among the South people to put two coins at the eyes of dead person. So they found them and they were exactly similar, means they were identical. They were not different from each other. They also found several spinal discs, rough, some burnt to coal, some metals. They also found them, and it was the duty of the sons to pick up them to get them into a, you can say, bag for sons to pick gingerly and carefully. And through as the priest said, as the priest direct them to give it them into the sacred river, holy river, facing east where three rivers met near the railway station. Means it is referring to Priyag, Raj or Allahabad at the time, where three rivers, that is Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati, meet to give, as it is the sacred duty of a true son to give the ashes in the river. No long standing, means for permanent headstone here, monument was not made at the death of his father with full his name and two dates, which is generally which is made with a full name of the person who is dead and two dates, that is date of birth and date of death, to hold in their parenthesis, to in bracket everything he didn't quite manage to do himself. Sometimes people write certain things on the monuments which were not in the control of the deceased person. For example, like his Caesarean birth in a Brahmin ghetto, that the poet's father was not born normally. He was born after doing a operation, Caesarean operation, and he was born in a Brahmin, you can say, area where people live, which is dirty, and it was not in his hand. And his death by heart failure in the football. And his father also died by heart failure in the food market. These were the information normally given about a person in whose memory a monument is erected. The information people give, they show that they are not serious. They do not think about, they just follow what is other written. But someone told me he got to life. After some time, one of his known person told the poet that his father was given two lines in an inside column of a Madras newspaper. The poet was told by one of his known person that there was published a obituary in the newspaper about his father in a newspaper which was published from Madras Delhi. And the obituary was printed in the inside paper. The paper about newspaper, we know that newspaper have value only for one the same day. After that, that become of no use. So, and they are sold by kilo. So the same thing must have happened with that paper also, that they were sold by the weight. Exactly 4 weeks later, to street hawkers. To street hawkers they were sold, and the street hawkers in their return sell them to the small grocery, small shops, where other articles and commodities of daily consumptions, spices, sugar, tea leaves, and pulses, etc., are sold, are available. Where the poet says, where he used to buy from grocery shops, salt, coriander, these are spices, and jaggery, sugar, etc. In the newspaper coins that I usually read for fun. In the past, he used to read those newspaper in which he used to get some matter, or you can say spices, etc., from the grocery shops for the sake of fun. But now, lately means presently, in the hope of finding these obituary lines, he was reading or he was searching newspaper in the hope that he will find two lines which were published in the newspaper as an obituary for his father. And he left us a change. The poet mentioned one more thing, very serious. This shows that the poet is not flippant. He is very sad at the death of his father. He says, father also changed one or left one more thing, mother. Now his mother is completely a different woman. Previously she was married, her husband was alive, she was given respect, etc. Everything. But now she is just a completely changed, a widow. And more than one annual ritual, some kind of tradition. And the poet also tells us that his father's death also added one more ritual in the family tradition, so that in the 1 year they have to perform certain rites to give their father due respect after death. In this way, these lines shows that the poet is not as funny as he is in the beginning appears. He is very sad at the death of his father. Thank you very much.